Hello there girlies, welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica and I talk all things about femininity and self-improvement for women. So if that's something you are interested in, then subscribe and let's get started. Firstly, you need to evaluate the people around you. You need to do an inventory of the people around you and see if everyone has the best interest for you, but also do you have the best interest for them. We always think of in terms of me, but we also need to think of in terms of are we providing any value to others. So firstly, remove bad people from your life, friends that are bad influence, family members that are toxic, a partner that doesn't appreciate you. Trust me, removing these energy vampires will do wonders for your emotional well-being, because the negative people who keep putting you down, whether that be directly, indirectly, or in a very subtle way that might go undetected but leaves you feeling some type of way, are gone from your life. Now identify the people that are bringing you value, people that you like being around, and nurture those relationships. If your partner is wonderful towards you, then don't take that for granted, but make sure you reciprocate and tell him you are thankful for him. If your friends are good influence for you and a rock, they are always there for you, then do the same for them. If your family members are there for you, they love you, then do the same for them, spend time with them. Giving and taking is a wonderful system and makes you feel at emotional peace. The negative people are out and all that's left are the good people, and you can be happy you aren't taking advantage of them, but it's mutually beneficial. Secondly, you need to take a break from social media. You need to rest. Give yourself a rest for a month or two. Social media makes so many people depressed as you are always constantly comparing yourself to them. But the bad thing is you are comparing your everyday self to their highlight reel and carefully staged, perfect lighting and edited photos. You are comparing a life that you have no idea about. You think they are all rich, but then you see those exposed videos and see how they really be living, how they take pictures on those hired private jet photo booths, when they source their designer bags from China, and so much more. To be honest, I do recommend watching those videos as it gives you the real authentic deal to how fake all this is. Nearly everything you see on social media is fake, from the lifestyle to the follower counts. Detoxing from social media is one of the best things you can do, because it stops you from consuming fake content, exaggerated content, negative hateful content, things that are created to get a reaction out of you, to make you mad. The more clicks you give them, the more they make, the more they produce these types, and the algorithm sees you like that stuff, the more it feeds you, and you end up in this never-ending loop until you get brainwashed. Just as you remove bad negative people from your personal life, you need to remove bad negative content and influence from your social media life. You will soon realize how freeing it feels being off social media and actually being in the real world. And if you do decide that you still want to use social media, then make sure the content you consume is positive. It's either educational or entertainment that is positive or neutral at the very least. Avoid all this negative nonsense. Examine who you feel after a social media session. After you used any social media app, examine if you feel good or bad, then act accordingly to how you feel and how you want to feel. Thirdly, go with what you really want, not what others want of you. So the Western world tells us women to be strong, independent, boss babes, who can do everything on our own, we don't need nobody. Basically, society tells us to act and behave like men, be masculine and not feminine, but the truth is you need to be who you really are, not what society or your parents or friends want you to be. If you really want a career and work your way up the corporate ladder and that's what you really want, then go for it. If that's not what you want, then don't. If you want to be a mother, then go for it. If you want to be a stay-at-home mom, then go for it. Obliviously, it all takes work, but work your way towards it. Society will push you towards what society wants and needs. So if the country needs blue-collar workers, that's what they will push you towards. If they need white-collar workers, that's what they will push you towards. The reason they are pushing us women so much into the workforce isn't because we are these boss babes that can do anything men can do. It's because we women are 80% of the consumer, therefore it makes sense to turn us into worker ants so we earn and then spend it right back after getting taxed and paying all bills, forever being kept in this rat race. This is why I always say it's very important for you not to be brainwashed by the propaganda presented to you by the society that you live in. It's very important for you to discover yourself and what you want, not what others want of you and from you. Tip number 4 is, learn to prioritize and say no to things. Sometimes we have the fear of missing out and therefore we say yes to many things. We say yes to things that we don't even like or want to go to. We say yes to meeting up with our friends and constantly going out. But we need to start saying no and start prioritizing things that are important to us. If your friends are always going clubbing but that's not what you want to do, then don't let them force you to go, say no and be okay with that. If they get upset, so be it. If they are truly your friends, they will be okay and understand it's something you don't want to do. If they don't understand and constantly harass you, well, that leads back to point number 1, remove bad influences. Tip number 5 is, work on being financially stable. Too many people buy things on credit and spend all their money and are broke by the end of the month. Too many people are living paycheck to paycheck, so you need to get yourself onto a budget, start working out your income and expenses. Start looking into your bank statement and check where most of your money is going out to, and then figure out where you can cut back and save money on. Do you have subscriptions to lots of things that you don't use? If so, then cancel the subscription and start working on a budget. Have money that is put towards rent, bills, food bill and all essential living expenses. Have some money set aside for emergency and then have some fun money for you to spend and enjoy yourself. Having a budget and knowing where your money is going lifts a lot of pressure off your shoulders and gives you emotional stability. Tip number 6 is to take care of yourself. So make sure you have a routine where you are taking care of yourself. So from taking care of your hair, skin, dental hygiene, body hair, showing, exfoliating, moisturizing, sleeping well, lowering stress, eating well, taking care of your fitness, making sure your house is clean, washing your clothes and just being on top of everything. Trust me, when you feel like you are behind, stress can build up, but when you are on top of everything, you feel at peace emotionally. And my final tip, tip number 7, is to work on your flaws. Yes, you need to work on your flaws. We all have flaws. I know you think you don't have any flaws, but we all do, and we really need to work on them and not be delusional. We need to firstly humble ourselves and be brutally honest with ourselves and identify what are our flaws, and we then need to actively work on them. If someone points out a flaw in us, then do not get upset and attack them, but ask them why they think that, and if it's constructive criticism, then we need to note that down and then work on bettering ourselves. Ask trusted people to give their constructive criticism about you and do not get offended, but listen to them and they start working on them. If we do not learn from our mistakes, then how can we evolve and get better? When I say flaws, I do not mean anything physical that you think is a flaw, but in reality it isn't. So this isn't anything to do with not having thigh gaps or having hip dips, nothing of that nonsense, but it's flaws in your character. So are you lazy? Be honest with yourself and work on fixing that. Are you passive aggressive instead of being straight up? If so, then work on that, improve your character to become a better person. As long as you are working on yourself and improving yourself, it gives you this inner peace, that even though you are human, you are always working on bettering yourself. So those were 7 ways that you can achieve emotional peace. I thank you so much for watching. If you're interested in more of this kind of content, then make sure to subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to give it a like. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and check this video out that's on screen now, and I hope you have a great day.